Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Angela Winfield, your queen of inspirational transformation at your service, and I am so thrilled to be here with you today, not only because I get to be with you, but because we have an incredible, and I mean incredible, guest with us today. It's a musician named Bob Sima, and let me tell you a little bit about him and his music, because I have had the pleasure, the absolute pleasure and privilege of hearing him perform live. And he's not a musician like any other musician. His music literally touches your soul and touches people in a way that I've never seen and never experienced before myself. And I know I sent you guys an email out before about how after the first time I heard this man perform, I never spoke to him. We never had a one-on-one, person-to-person conversation. He spoke to my soul through his music. And then the next time I went home, I was like, I gotta do something. I gotta spread this message. And I was running around my house like a crazy woman. My husband thought I was nuts because I kept saying, there's this guy, Bob Sima. I was like, his music, I don't know what to do with it. Something's got to be done. We gotta bring him here. He's got to come here. He's got to perform. And I downloaded all of his music and was listening to it because it just fed my soul. And I did. I opened up my home to this man that I had never met, never spoken to. I heard him perform, and I said, you need to come here. I want you here, and I want to welcome you and help you spread your message. That's how much he moved me. And I've seen him move other audiences like that, and I'm just so thrilled to welcome him. He's an award-winning musician, and even more than that, he's a beautiful, generous soul, and I'm so glad to welcome Bob Sima.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
This is my first Google Hangout, so
yeah.
I'm not sure how is everybody seeing both of us here, or are they just hearing me? Or?
They are seeing both of us right now.
Okay. Hi.
Yes. And we are going to have a good time and have some fun. But I want to dive right into it a little bit and just ask you, how did you become this messenger, this such powerful messenger through your music?
Oh, well, it's been a long process. Actually, it started when I was very young. I was kind of hearing whispers, I guess, of wisdom that were, being kind of tantalizing me, kind of at a young age, and it just took me a kind of a lifetime to really listen. I think that's probably the best description. But all along, they've sort of spawned out of my spiritual work, my consciousness work, and it's really just been this lifelong passion and a driver. The spiritual work has driven the music because every song is really something I've experienced, and so the reason it probably spoke to you and it does to others is because it's real, because it's something that's happened to me and happened for me and happened through me, and I just am the dictation source. I just write it down, and my medium is the song. So they're deeply personal, but at the same time they're universal, and when I recognized that, that's when I started to step up and share it.
Yeah, I mean, I notice in all of your songs, I mean, even in, like, when I'm working with coaching clients, like, there's always a song that I can say, you know what, you need to listen to this Bob Sima song. This is what, is going through. I mean, tell us a little more about some of the themes that come through your music. I know it's spiritual, but there's something else there, so share with us.
Themes.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there's a thread that goes through all of them, and and the thread is about transformation, and it's about awakening. So I have this term that I call transcend and trance, and the term transcend is one word, and the term transcend is two words. So it's hard to visualize that without the words, just being spoken to you. But if you see those two words together, you kind of get what I'm all about. It's really all about leaning into life, heart wide open, feeling the things that come along, not pushing things away, stepping up and stepping in and softening and becoming a deep appreciator. It's about breathing. It's just about ending this sort of trance between the world that we know inside of us, which is the deeply spiritual world, and the world we see or feel or touch in front of us. And the themes are everything from dealing with just massive shifts happening in your life and how to ride that wave, to just opening up your heart. I mean, there's a song called Shine that is really kind of the quintessential song for all of this. It's basically the unfoldment of your soul into the body and allowing it to shine, which is why we're here. So it's about transcending.
Transcending, ending the trance, waking up to life. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And it's deep. But there's something interesting about your music to me. And we'll let everyone hear it in just a little bit. But there's something about your music, the message and the music, they're so well tied together. They support one another. Like oftentimes what I find when I hear someone say there's music with a message, and I don't want to disparage anybody, but the music's not so good. Do you know what I'm talking about? I mean, it was almost because I heard you. The first time I heard you was at Christine Closer's Transformational Author event, and there was so much kind of hype around you that and I had a flight the very next morning. It was like a 4 a.m. flight, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna stay up for this because I'm a music lover. And when I heard you, like I heard not only the music, I heard the message. Is that something you do purposefully with your music?
As far as the message, or
no, as far as the music sounding good, Bob. I mean, the message is there, and one doesn't lose the other, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes when someone has a message, the message overshadows the music, or vice versa. But with your music, the two are just, they're perfectly complement one another.
Well, I would probably have to say that I'm kind of a musical. I'm not trained, so I don't know. I don't even think about the music. It completely, it's a feel. It's a complete feel. So, it's not like I'm this, trained, Juilliard musician who then, opened up to spirituality. I mean, this was about opening up to spirituality, and then the universe just saying, okay, well, here's music, and just be open to it, and it'll come through you in just the way that it needs to be you, to be your expression of it. I've never taken a guitar class. I've never, learned. I don't even know what I'm playing. People ask me what key it's in. What key are you playing? I don't know. This one right here. On a surface level, that might seem silly and all that, but it's so sacred to me. And the music, I sit down with my guitar, or sometimes even, maybe at a piano or something, or I play, all kinds of things around the house. If I hear something musically, it calls forth these words, and I keep it as simple as possible. The melody and the chorus, the song, the words that people are going to remember, I keep it as simple and clear as possible. So, and I would say, on the Enneagram, if you've studied that at all, I'm a 4. And the 4 is all about aesthetics. And to me, music is all about aesthetics, and it's about simplicity to me. So as soon as it gets complicated, I start to back away, and I say, wait a second, because that's going to create static. And I want it to be clear and simple, because the words are the most important part. So, to me, at least.
Well, you have definitely accomplished that, because the words come through loud and clear, straight to the soul. And I would love for everyone to kind of hear it. Let's give them a little something. What are you feeling?
What do you want to? You want to hear a little something?
A little something.
I got a couple guitars sitting over here, like waiting for me.
Yeah, and I know there's got to be some stories behind those guitars I want to hear about in a little bit, because you got 3 of them, right?
Yeah, I've got 3 of them. I've got more than 3, but I use 3
when you tour
in the concerts. This is my Gibson. It's from the '60s, and I want to play something that you've never heard.
Okay.
Okay, and this came from a poem from Hafiz. Are you familiar with Hafiz?
I'm not. No.
He's a Sufi poet, and the word Hafiz means I think the actual breakdown is that actually someone who can memorize and recite the Quran, which is like 80,000, 75,000 words. So it's somebody who devotes themselves to spirituality and to the mystery. And he had this line, and it's actually a poem, and I'll just grab this one line out of it. But the poem, I can't remember the name of it, but it's not a very long poem, maybe 12 or 15 lines. But the end of it says, "Your heart and mine are very old friends," and that just got me. It really got me. So I'm just you just want me to play little pieces of some songs, or you just give you a taste, or you want me to play the entire songs, or
give a little taste, whatever you're feeling. Then
I'll give you a taste of this one, okay?
Okay, yeah.
I have to take my headphone out. I'll have to sit back a little bit. So.
How long has it been since we were together last? How long has it been? How long has it been? Was it this life or the last? How long has it been? And were we ever really apart? Your heart and mine are the oldest of friends. Your heart and mine. Your heart and mine are the oldest of friends. Your heart and mine. You know no separation, just celebration. I am so grateful to look into your eyes. I am so glad. I am so grateful we come together today. I am so glad. It's like we never really apart. Your heart and mine are the oldest of friends. Your heart and mine. Your heart and mine are the oldest of friends. Your heart and mine. So that's a good sing-along we do. We get a whole group of people have to start to sing that to each other. Your
heart and mine,
the oldest of friends.
your heart and mine, all the your heart and mine,
The oldest of friends. Your
heart and mine.
the other line of this can start to sing to themselves, knowing that they're reaching us, even if they're just singing, we can't even hear them. Your heart and mine are the oldest of friends. Your heart and mine. Your heart and mine are the oldest of friends. Your heart and mine.
Wow, wow, wow.
Song.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Oh, that is. Ooh, there's something. Whenever I hear your music, I always like bliss out a little bit. And I told myself, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna dance. I'm not gonna, I am. I can't help it. So, what is it about your music that happens? Because I've seen, like, I mean, I got tons of questions for you, but the one that's come to mind right now is, like, I've been to tons of different concerts, right? Like mainstream music concerts all across the board, like from Metallica to Snoop Dogg to Santana to all of these things. I've been tons and tons at Prince, but your concerts stand out in my mind. Like something different happens. It's like you're plugging in and there's just this connection. What is that?
Thank you, by the way. That's a wonderful, like, a validation. Well, I think we hit like a perfect resonance with each other, and and I don't know if everybody feels that way as you do. So the way I would probably describe it is that my resonance is at the same vibration as yours, or very close to yours. My musical resonance, and probably personally as well, because of the place that you are. There's a place that you are in your consciousness. There's a place that you are in your soul and your body. And this stuff just resonates with you and gets you all charged up. And, and it does the same for me. So this music really speaks very loudly to people in that space, at that sort of space and consciousness that have done a lot of work. And, and not to say it's excluding anyone if they haven't done work, or maybe they have done work, they just don't. So it resonates so clearly, but I have an intention. And my intention is not just for me to connect to the audience, but it's for the audience to connect with each other. And so that's probably what's a little different that you might have felt when we were there in Auburn, on the concert there at the theater and at Christine's, is because I'm simply not pleased enough to just sit and sing to people. I want to sing with them. I want them to sing with each other and to each other. I want these songs to really fill the space, and my job is to fill every soul that I can. So the souls that are open, they get filled up very quickly and they resonate. There's others that don't really, maybe they don't resonate as much, and it's no disparaging thing. It's just there's a vibrational level that you are, and there's a vibrational level that this music is at, and they're very they're old friends.
Yeah, that is so true. But now, were you? So did you tell me something about attunement? I'm sure you know about it. But like, yeah. I mean, like, there's a certain, because I've seen people who were resistant. I won't name any names, but at the concerts, I've seen people that weren't completely open to it, but they do. They like their vibrational level like rises up and connects.
I firmly agree with that. I can just say that as a performer, as someone who stands up and does this, that has been a long process for me to come into that ability to stand and do my thing, regardless of what anybody's doing. I mean, I have some people that give me every impression that they're not interested in this type of stuff, and they will fold their arms, and they will get rigid, and they will have that look on their face like they're about ready to, I don't know. And I've learned to send the energy to them. There's others that are kind of like, woo, they're just blissed out. Okay, good. I'm not going to send my energy to you because you got it. Now I need to send my energy to the ones that aren't getting it, because. And I'm not saying that everyone needs this. I'm just saying that it's my job to get this to as many as I can. And I could tell you, I've had people. I had one particular man at a concert, and he was in the very early early rows, front row, and he was kind of had sunglasses on actually, and he looked very, stereotypically he looked like the tough guy, and I did send a lot of healing energy his way. I felt a heaviness and a sadness from him. I couldn't explain it. I just felt it, and I watched him just start to cry. And he leaned on his partner, and they've become big supporters. And if I would have been my old self, I would have just I probably would have changed my songs. I would have thought, well, he's not gonna like that one. Or maybe I'll play a good country song, or something to. So I just do my thing, and if I do it without any editing or any static on my own behalf, based on what I'm seeing in front of me, people will get that in a much stronger level. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, as you were talking, I mean, the song that comes up for me, and this is one of my favorite songs. My favorite song of yours changes depending on what I'm going through, but my favorite song right now is from Put a Little More Love in the World, Bit My Tongue. Oh. And I sent this because there's something about that authenticity, about just doing your thing, and like what he's setting the both of us here free. Like, that is just so, you walk your talk.
I just got chills. I just got chills when you said that. See, we really are. That's the song right there. I mean, I should have just, all that blah, 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 I should have just said, you know the song Bit My Tongue. That's really what it is. I mean, I wrote that. That's a kind of very, you know, and not all of these songs are really like about me, or it's something I've experienced so deeply, or I've witnessed it in someone else, or I've witnessed it around me, and I really read, like, I got goosebumps. So, but Bit My Tongue was all about me and my stuff and getting it out of the way, because I realize if I'm not being authentic, then I'm wasting both of our time. I mean, I'm setting both of us here free. So if that means if I'm up there doing my thing and you stand up and walk away, then that's an honoring. I honored you by doing my thing, and you honored me by saying that's not for me and walked away. So there's a seat for somebody else, you know. But it's a hard process, and looking back at myself and the growth that I've had, and I'm still, believe me, still doing. That's been a big thing for me is you know, editing, you know, myself and not wanting to say things that, you know, I know is not going to fit the fairy tale that they have in their head about me. You know, they think I'm this, but you know, I'm really not that. I hate to tell you this, but I actually have to tell you, because that way we're both real. And it came from the Dr. Seuss quote, you know, that says, was it the ones that matter won't mind?
Yeah. I would love to hear a little bit of that, if you don't mind.
Right. Yeah. Well, oddly enough, it's in the exact same tuning and on the same fret as the first song. I'll play a little bit of that one for you. Actually, it's not in the right tuning.
No. Sounds good to me, but I'm tone deaf.
As I started playing the riff, I said, wait a second, that's the right riff, but it's not the right tuning. Can you give me a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only thing about my job with the guitars and all this stuff, and the lack of actually knowing how to play a guitar. And I'm not cutting myself into a negative space, but just the truth of the matter is I wouldn't need, you know, the capo and the tunings if I actually knew exactly how to play this instrument. So, well, seriously, because I play with musicians, and I'll have my capo on, and I'll have it all tuned into a different tuning, and they'll just go, oh, that's just a G chord. What you're doing. Well, thank you so much for that.
So you really did just feel your way into what sounded right.
Yes, and they were, you know, they're like, you know, it's a lot of times we'll be in the studio, and some, you know, bass player or somebody will go, wow, I would have thought that chord would have come after, you know, after that. And I think, well, I never thought about it, so that's why it happened.
How old were you when you picked up your first guitar?
Probably about 14 or 15. Okay, this was in a totally different tuning, my dear.
And I know you mentioned to me at some point that you were always in bands, like in college. What type of music did you play back then?
Oh boy. Well, it was like in the 90s and stuff. So it was probably like I think we did a lot of REM.
Really?
I say I think because, you know, there was that was a phase of my life where I was kind of a wild and crazy guy back then. So I think we played a lot of REM.
Were you really? Okay.
I went to a party school, girl. All right,
did you? Okay.
Play a little bit of Bit My Tongue now.
All right.
Sound right now?
It always sounds good to me.
Well, I bit my tongue into 1,000 pieces by now.
convince myself your heart can't take it, but I'm not willing to let out. 'Cause it'll be filled with disappointment. 'Cause you'll have an air of discontent. And I know I'll never measure up to the fairy tale you dreamt. But as I change the words to you, well, what's that saying to me? I wanna tell you exactly who I am, not who I think you want me to be. I wanna speak from my heart to the middle of my heart, let the words flow right out of me. Cause I miss the phone with you, and I miss the phone with me. Yeah, the one to matter really don't mind, and the one to mind that really don't matter to me. I love this verse. Well, I bent my words into the craziest shapes I've ever seen. I turned and churned myself through the low self-esteem machine.
Sing it, Sima.
I cut myself and I cut myself down. I rearranged my beautiful pieces to fit someone else's imaginary plan. And as I changed the words to you, well, what's that saying to me? I want to tell you exactly not who I think you want me to be. I swear to cut the song off. You get that little melody right there? Sticks and stones may break my bones. Remember when I was a little kid, I used to hate that line. Sticks and stones may break my bones.
Oh. Are you still there?
I'm here. I got my headphones back in. It's the abbreviated version.
Yes, yes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I love that one. And I notice you take a lot of quotes. You get inspiration from all different sorts of places, from poems, Sufi poets, Maya Angelou, Dr. Seuss. How do you take that and make it into something universal, something that touches people?
Oh, how do I not? That's the question. I mean, when I hear it, I just, I was driving home from taking my son over to camp this morning, and I don't know, I read it somewhere, or I heard it somewhere. It said, don't go back there, or don't look back. That's not where you're going. So, I mean, I've already got half a song written. When I hear something like that, it brings. It's almost like what they say when someone experiences at the end of their life. Their life flashes. Flash. Like, I can see the whole song. I can hear the whole song. Like, I don't hear it, but I can feel it. I know the energy of what that song's going to be. I have a feeling of who it's going to connect to, and and it's just the thing that I've been given to do. And you can call it a gift, or I think it's a gift because I honor it that way. But it's just the thing I've been able to do, and as I've learned more about the Enneagram, I mean, I've come into a true understanding of what I do, and the number 4 of the Enneagram is what I've at least typed myself as, and their job. I mean, it's the Thomas Merton, it's Rumi. Those were 4. They were 4. They take the beauty, the subtlety of life, and they create something out of it, so that everyone can benefit, and everyone can either feel it or see it or touch it, or just it connects with them. So they're all about the depth and the darkness and turning it into beauty. And so
Mm.
That's who I am.
That's who you are. Yes, it
It's
is.
not who I am, it's what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing. Yeah, okay. That's what you're doing. That's what you do. I get the distinction. I
Gotta
get
clarify that.
it. This feels like a really good time to kind of talk about your workshops that you do with Shannon.
Hmm.
Because it just seems to me, when you're talking about the process of writing the songs, how they just come to you, it took me back to the workshop I was in with you. And
Hmm.
I don't know if I told you this or not, but I didn't realize it was a songwriting workshop. I didn't know what I was getting myself into until Shannon emailed me the handouts, and I looked at them. I'm like, oh no. I was like,
I don't write songs. What is this?
yes, that's exactly what I thought. And I was like, oh man, I brought this man here, and I said I was going to be at this thing. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it. And I went. And something happened for me. Like I wrote my very first song. I sang in front of people, and I got to sing with you, which was a dream of mine. Actually, it was something that I wanted to. I know, right? It's silly, but
No, not silly. Beautiful.
but it was this workshop, right? And I was enjoying it. I didn't really understand what was going on because I think it was like a 4-hour workshop, and we got to the last half hour, and you're like, okay, now write this song. And everybody did. Like it wasn't I mean, it wasn't this like belabored process. Like everybody wrote something, everybody shared something, and then it just flowed. How do you do that? Like, how did you come up with the workshop? Tell us more about that.
Well, that was actually a that was a journey of inquiry for me. I mean, it started because I was hired to go down to a gathering actually that's happening right now. It's called SUSI, SUUSI. It's Unitarian Universalist Summer Institute, and they brought me in as the musician for the week to do a concert and to entertain people at different times of the day. Which is a great honor, and they only invite 2 or 3 people a year, and there's 1,000 people that come to this. So I was totally honored, but then I found out they said you have to do a week-long workshop. And I don't do workshop. I don't know what a workshop is. I don't I guess I could do something. And so they said no, we really think because of we really are vibing with your music and we know everyone else. Well, how did you do that? So why don't you just do a songwriting workshop? And that's when I retracted. I said, oh no, oh gosh, I don't want to do a songwriting workshop because I don't even know what I'm doing. How am I going to teach what I don't know what I'm doing? So it was an inquiry. It was okay. Well, let's sit with this. What is it that you do? And it's certainly not a songwriting workshop.
No.
You said that, and I thought, oh well, I think I know where she's headed. But it's a creativity workshop, and it's the reason I only do a 4-hour workshop and I only give you a half an hour to write the song is it takes any longer than that, you kind of miss the point. So it's all about unfolding the jewel that you are. Because the jewel that you are is a conscious, creative vessel of the divine. And that's the only reason you're here, is to create. You have been created by the Creator, and your gift back is to use it. Use your gift of creativity. So I got charged up with the whole idea, and I created this 4-day thing, and we somehow broke it down to 4 hours to do up in New York. And we've actually been invited to do it for 2 hours at a cancer center here in town, and I was able to do that. So it's just it was an inquiry of me to figure out what is it that you really do, like what is it, and it was a beautiful process, and I'm very grateful that I was pushed into doing it because it created something really neat. And your experience was not it was perfect. It was exactly what the workshop is intended to open people up to the creativity and to break down the inner critic because we have this inner critic that we don't even really know because it's such a familiar voice. So it's sort of amplifying that critic and amplifying the still small voice and allowing you to see which is which. And the still small voice is the one that we want you to hear. The critic is we want to want it to go away,
Yeah.
or morph it into something that's going to be useful to you. So that's kind of a little summary of where it came from. And
Yeah, yeah. And then sang My Soul, because I have not been the same since that workshop.
oh, that is awesome. Tell me about that.
So what happened is I mean, the words came to me, and then I think it was my husband, Lance, pushed me. He said, Angela wants to sing it. Angela wants to sing it. And I said, and I said, well, maybe at the end. And then at the end, you started, playing the riff. You said you'd help me, and you started playing some sort of riff. And I was like, okay, that sounds kind of good. That sounds kind of good. And I had no idea what to sing or how to sing it. And something literally came through me. And I heard myself like, oh, my God, who's that singing? Who is that singing? Was the experience that I had. And I've spent some time with figuring out who that person was or what that was singing through me.
Man, I'm covered with goosebumps. I mean, that is such an... I mean, I'm gushing with appreciation that you got that, because I mean, this is our work, our life's work, and it's our life's passion. And when it connects with somebody on that level, I just want to look up at the universe and say, I think I did what you asked me to. I think I fulfilled my mission. So I'm so glad to hear that. I mean, because that you experience what I experience when I write every single song, and I look around and I go, whoa, where did that come from? Thank you. Oh, wow. And now, I mean, the muscle that you build when you're doing this mine is very strong, because it's just, I've written hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs, and, so, but you have to start somewhere. The first pull-up begins with one, and so you did your first pull-up that day, and now you've got that muscle under there. And so, it's not just about singing. It's about whatever it is. You've got creativity flowing through you, and all coaching and your writing and this programming that you're doing here. So you're just on fire, and it's awesome to watch.
Yeah, and it's awesome to get that fuel from someone like you, because your music is what I turn to now. Before I go out on stage and give a speech, it's your songs are what I turn to. To get me in that zone, and so I can give from my heart. And I'm grateful for you and for your music.
I will be your Cheerios anytime you need. Breakfast of Champions, right?
That's right. That's right. And now, how do people get to hear you live? How do they reach out to you?
Well, I mean, they can do what you did, which is call up Shannon and create an event and make it happen. And that was amazing when you did that, when you reached out, because, we are a small team of 2. And, well, Shannon's about 5. So really,
oh, yeah, she is. She's a powerhouse.
I would say it's a small team of 5.5. So, she does all the work. But they could reach out through bobsima.com, BOBSIMA.com. Go to the contact page and say, look, we want to host you up in our town. I play, in theaters, and, I'll do church events, at a New Thought church or whatever, any church for that matter. I've even do house concerts where you get together a group of your friends, and we have a really intimate, concert in a setting like that. Or you go to the website and look at the schedule and come to one of the events. I'm going to be at the end of next month. I'm going to be down in Southern Virginia at the Floyd Yoga Jam, which is a really cool event celebrating yoga and movement and music and consciousness. And then at the end of September, I'll be out in Jackson Hole at the there's an event out there. It's on the website as well. The Congress, I think it's the 53rd Congress on Illumination. And it's going to be a gathering of souls that are all raising the vibe and the consciousness and the light on the planet. And it's going to be a really amazing event. And there's tickets still available to that one as well. So many ways to connect.
Yes, and that's at Bob Sima, spelled S-I-M-A. S-I-M-A, Sima. Sing it, Sima. That's what I call you. Do you know? You probably didn't know that. Sing it, Sima. Sing it, Sima. But And there's something else that you do that I wasn't aware of, and I think maybe we have time to share this story, maybe one more song, because otherwise I'll keep you forever.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
When I did reach out and have you come here to Auburn, where I am, I did not realize that you did gratitude concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And something really, really kind of awesome happened that I didn't find out until afterwards with the concert in Auburn Correctional Facility, maximum security prison.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share what happened with that?
Well, you that's more of what you created, or you helped come to life through our original intention. But I connected with there's a spiritual community here that I did an in-depth class called Awakenings, and the teacher there has just become kind of this guru to me at a distance. Really, I don't really study there anymore, but she's just so much in my heart and in my consciousness, and as well as another woman that I do see on a regular basis, who's a breath worker. And they introduced me to a man named Bo Lozoff, who had this prison ashram project, which was to go into prisons and teach mindfulness and meditation and consciousness expansion to inmates. And it was just a long path, and finally I ended up with this man's book. It's called "We're All Doing Time," and this book just really hit me. Really hit me that this is couple the fact that there's a mass incarceration happening in the United States that's just off the charts, massively. It's just a big problem. There's just way too many people in prison, and
I just heard a story about this. We have more people in prison here in the U.S. than we do in China, than they do in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the population difference.
Yeah.
There's more. I mean, you could go on forever. It's a very sad and dark setup, but that doesn't mean we can't go in there. If they're going to be in there, how can we serve them? And look. Everybody, there's a great line that says, every sinner has a future and every saint has a past. And so if you can look at someone and just, So anyway, I had this charge in me to maybe somehow serve, this population of humanity. And we put it out there. We said, yeah, well, let's see what happens. Let's put it out there. We started calling a couple places. The doors weren't really open. And all of a sudden, through your opportunity, the person who was doing the contract with us at the theater asked if we do, we told them we do gratitude concerts, which is our way to pay back a community that supported me coming in. And she said, wow, have you ever thought about playing in a prison? And Shannon, of course, is like laughing, and she said, yeah, we actually have thought about that. And so anyway, the long story of it shortened is it was definitely an intention we put out, and it helped become 3D reality through you. And it was an amazing experience. We're going to come back there. We're going to be there sometime at the end of the year, up in Auburn again. We're going to see you again.
Yes.
We're going to go up, and we're actually going to do that workshop with a group of the inmates there. So, and I haven't had any opportunities since. But I'm not so sure it's supposed to be something I do all the time.
Right.
But I think it's something I'm going to do as I'm called to do it. And, I think being open-minded to, any gratitude concert to me is a gift back. I've played in homeless shelters. I mean, some of these things have just been kind of funny, I'm set. My amp is on top of a coffee maker, and I'm like sitting in the coffee room, and they got a TV blaring in the next room. But you know what? I just get up and I do my thing. And if it reaches anybody, then it was useful. So
yeah, we're so glad that you continue to do that thing, because to me, it's just an amazing, amazing thing. The way the universe puts us here and the way that life is, because we set these intentions, usually alone or by ourselves with small groups, but then once we put that energy out there, like, it always amazes me when stuff comes together and people show up, and it happens. It happens.
That's yeah. I mean, that's the universe working its magic. I mean, that's how it works, you know. I mean, you said it. As soon as you put it out to the community, even when your thoughts, I mean, your thoughts are this what starts it. It sets things in motion that you don't even know are in motion. I didn't know that you left that concert at Christine's and you were excited and you know moved to action and so I mean I don't even think we even spoke at all because I don't.
No, we did not.
Yeah, Shannon was like, well, she had the dog. I'm like, what? Did I give her a hug? At least?
No, I didn't bother you. I was like, no, he's got people to talk to. He's got things. I was like, no. It was something. We met the morning of the workshop, and are you Angela? I remember. I'm like, yes.
I know. It was really neat. It was a neat situation. So
it was.
But I felt you all along. I could feel that. Once when I heard about what happened, I was like, wow. I was just so grateful. You know, just so grateful back to Christine. You know, because you know she's been such a great part of my career, just helping me to connect with the audiences that I'm trying to connect with. And so I was just so grateful that I met her, and then I said yes to some of the things she was asking me, and then that you were there, and that you said yes to, like, I'm going to go to a concert even though I have to get up at 4 o'clock. How awesome is that?
It's incredible, and I am a huge fan, and I'm going to spread your music because it's a wonderful message. I feel called to do it, and I will say it again, it's just good music. It's really good music, and that means a lot. Would you take us out? And surprise! I have a surprise. And then I'd like to take you out. Well, what I want to do for my fans, for people watching now, I'd love to show you, because music is it's a special thing. It's an inspirational thing. And I'd love for you to go over to my Facebook page, fb.com/TheAngelaWinfield, and post how music has inspired you, or what you use music for to inspire you. And for the best post, the most moving post, the best post as I guess judged by me and my team, you will get the Afterglow package, which is the 4 CD set of Bob Sima that I will gift to you. Yes, I'm going to gift to them for that, because it's such powerful music that it needs to get out there one person at a time, and it will get there. It will.
That's really generous of you. Thank you.
So, will you take us out with something?
Totally. Do you have a request or?
Whatever you're feeling. Whatever you're feeling.
All right. I'm gonna do this. Well, we've come to the place where everything's beautiful. Everything's beautiful. Well, we've come to the place where everything's music. Everything's music. Let it play, let it play. Tell me why you stay here. The door is wide open. The door is wide open. The door is wide open. Why you stay here? When the door is wide open, let it be that you love me what you feel. Stop looking down and open up the window. You wanna right there in the middle of your heart. Let go of your hand. Sit down in a circle. You know you got no need to keep yourself apart. Well, baby, sad and empty. Don't go
sleep. Every day, wake up sad and empty. Don't go back to sleep. 'Cause there's a million ways to kneel, kiss the ground. There's a million ways to kneel, kiss the ground.
Whew. That's why I call you Sing It Sima. That was Bob Sima. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was such an honor and a pleasure. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. You're
Great.
good at this. You're good at this. This is definitely. I'm glad you're doing this. This is a really neat format, and this whole Google Hangout. I gotta get onto this thing.
That's right. That's right. We're going to take it around the world. And everybody, please go over, check out Bob Sima at bobsima.com. That's SIMA.com. Check out his music. And don't forget, go over to my Facebook page, post how music has inspired you. And you have the opportunity to win 4-pack of all 4 of his CDs. So thank you so much for joining me. And we will see you again soon. Much love.